They're starting it again. They're going after the classics. They're talking about banning Mrs. Doubtfire and Ace Ventura and similar movies all over again, just like they did in 2013, just like they did in 2007. It's getting annoying. These are amazing movies. They should remain in the culture. There's no reason to get rid of them.
Whoa, 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 whoa. You said classics. Those aren't classics. Like maybe Falling Down is a classic, right? But I wouldn't call Mrs. Doubtfire a classic. We can do without that. Until they actually mentioned it, I didn't even remember the movie. So at this point, I'm just wondering if it's who even made that movie? Was it Disney? I'm wondering if it was like Disney or whoever trying to get sales for already created films, because that's the only thing that makes sense.
No, it is a classic. Everybody's going to remember that movie. Everybody loves Mrs. Doubtfire. Hello! Who's not going to remember that classic line? And Ace Ventura, just as classic. Alrighty then. And then they even made a sequel to Ace Ventura. It's great movies. There's no reason to go after them. Just because there's a joke made in each one that the LGBTQ plus QRTUZ ampersand exclamation point group is reading too much into doesn't mean that they should ruin it for the rest of us. You know, it's like you don't like something, just don't watch it. When you go on Netflix, when you go on Hulu, when you go on Amazon Prime, there's millions of movies that are pure garbage that I would never watch. And I hope that they never fool me into clicking on one and wasting 20 minutes before I discover it's unwatchable. But you find the ones that you like, you watch those, and you move on with your life. I don't scour the platform to find something that's going to irritate me and make me go protest and demand that it's taken off the platform. It's like, get a life, people. You know, look at the stuff that you're interested in. Don't look at the other stuff and move on with your life.
No. Let's be clear on this. It's if they want to protest over it, that's perfectly fine. That's their right. Which country are we living in? They can absolutely protest. And if they also want to protest with their dollar and they're going after a company and they're saying, listen, all of us and our allies will not give a single dollar to your organization if you allow this film to exist, then, I mean, that is also their right. They're trying. If you want to get angry at somebody, get angry at the company. Ultimately, I think we should all protest and try to get Twilight kicked off as well while we're at it, because that's a garbage movie. I think we need to protest and try to get half of this rubbish on Netflix off of it too, because they're garbage movie. What about all of these? Let's just take one character out, replace with another character, same plot, nothing new, lazy writing, lazy directing, throw it out there and we all gobble it up. We should protest that too. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with what they're doing. If you don't like it, you find it offensive, you absolutely have the right to do it. That is your right.
Allies. As if there's some battle going on that they're risking their lives over. Get out of here. It's a freaking joke. And Twilight, the LGBTQ pound ampersand dot asterisk group, they love that show. So they're already in conflict. It's like you might as well just let it all stay on the platform. Just watch what you're interested in. Let the other person watch what they're interested in, and you're good to go. Why remove it from someone else's enjoyment? You know, just enjoy the stuff that you want. You wouldn't like it if somebody goes in there and removes all their queer movies and TV shows like Touchwood. That's a horrible show. I remember watching Doctor Who, and then they had that captain character that showed up for one episode, and he was everything that I wanted to watch on TV. He was spontaneous, he was happy, he was witty and fearless, and he was interesting, and it was a great thing. And I even said to somebody, I said, you know what? I wish they would make a show of that guy. And then one day the person comes up to me and is like, hey, they did what you wanted. They made a show of that guy. It's called Torchwood. And I'm like, really? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, no, you're lying. And they're like, no, it's an entire show. There's already a couple seasons out. And I'm like, oh. So I started watching it, and it's all dark and dreary and depressing. And you know, the guy's there, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe this is just like some part of his backstory or something, and he'll get out of it and become the character that everybody wanted. And I'm watching it, and there's just saliva and semen everywhere, and it's just, you know, him making out with this dude and making out with that dude, and then naked with this dude and the other dude, and so I, you know, I just dubbed it Touchwood because that's what it was, and I had to stop watching it because it's just terrible. He was depressing, he was sad, there was nothing to laugh about or enjoy, there were no adventures. It was just, you know, it's just like, hello, I've met you before. It's like, yes, I remember. But do you remember other things that we did before? Yes, I do remember other things that we did.
All right, let me go ahead and bookmark that film. Definitely giving that one a watch.